Hello, everyone. I'm Dana Perino along with Katie Pavlich, Juan Williams, Jesse Waters, and Greg Gutfeld. It's 5 o'clock in New York City, and this is The Five. Round two of the escalating feud between President Trump and Nancy Pelosi over claims of a cover-up and possible impeachment. The speaker not backing away after saying the president may be breaking the law.
And while he tried to say it's because I said cover-up, we've been saying cover-up for a while. I think what really got to him was these court cases and the fact that the House Democratic Caucus is not on a path to impeachment. And that's where he wants us to be. I pray for the President of the United States. I wish that his family or his administration or his staff would have an intervention for the good of the country.
Your comments almost suggest you're concerned about his well-being.
I am. And the well-being of the United States of America.
And just an hour ago, President Trump firing back with personal attacks against Pelosi and calling on White House aides to dispute her claims that he threw a temper tantrum during a meeting yesterday.
It's a do-nothing Congress. The Democrats have done nothing in the House. They've done absolutely nothing. They don't get it. I mean, other than investigate. They want to, let's investigate. She said I walked into the room right next door yesterday and walked in and started screaming and yelling. Just the opposite. Just the opposite. Because I know that they will always say that, even if it didn't happen, because this happened once before. I walked out. I was so calm. You had the group, Crying Chuck, Crazy Nancy. I tell you what, I've been watching her, and I have been watching her for a long period of time. She's not the same person. She's lost it.
Mr. President, why would you have to raise your voice? You said to them, when you're done, your 2 tracks, come back and we'll talk about infrastructure. You've made that very clear.
We had the meeting,
infrastructure,
Sarah.
drug pricing, USMCA.
Hi, Sarah. We're just talking about the meeting. You were there yesterday? Yes. Were you? Yes. Just come forward. What was my tone yesterday at the meeting?
Very calm. I've seen both, and this was definitely not angry or ranting. Very calm and straightforward.
Greg, it's like the two of them are trying to find each other's Achilles heel. If she says, if I say he's unhinged or crazy or that he's like losing his temper, it gets him so mad. And he's trying to say, oh, well, she's really lost it because she's kind of getting up there.
I have to say, I wake up every morning now and thank God I'm alive to see all of this. Because if you were born in some other era or you're born later and not while Trump was president, you're missing quite possibly one of the most entertaining eras in history. He's not just a president. He's like a one-man celebrity roast, right? And I think, what side would you want to be on? I don't like picking sides, but he has concrete achievements.
Yeah, you don't pick sides.
No, not at all.
Never. I've never seen it.
You have one side, which is concrete achievements, but it comes in blunt, total craziness, or being on the side of Nancy, which is no achievements at all, and waging a political attack all the time. Being on the attack side is so much easier. Being on the other side, being a Trump supporter, watching what he does, is just more fun. And it's fun, and there are achievements. How can you go wrong?
She says that, Jesse, that the president is frustrated because the House is not moving towards impeachment, and that's what he really wants. Morning Joe talked about that as well, and I think we have sound that I would like to play for you.
I wanted to.
He wants to be impeached so badly.
Yes, it's
so
his
the
dream.
Senate can then can then decide that he's not going to be convicted, can acquit him. He loves to be victimized, as Nancy Pelosi said yesterday. Oh, poor baby.
All right, so they think that the president wants to be impeached, but he's saying if you don't impeach or if you get rid of all of this, then we could do other things.
He does not want to be impeached. This is reverse psychology from Nancy and Chuck at Scarborough, because they know that the Democrats want to impeach, and Nancy doesn't want it to happen, so they have to make it seem like Trump wants it. Oh, we don't want to do what Trump wants.
Right.
When Bill Clinton was impeached, his numbers went up big time because people understood the pain that he went through, and they sided with someone who lied about sex.
They just thought the Republicans were...
And they overreached. Trump can do the same kind of move if he declassifies the FISA applications and all the investigations are done, and it proves that the Democrats planted evidence and set this whole thing up. He will look like the victim, and the American people will see that this was a set-up job from the beginning. Everything that happened yesterday with Nancy Pelosi was spun into a big lie by the media. She was forced into saying that this was a cover-up because her caucus is out of control and she needed to say something. It blew up the meeting, and now she has not delivered on border security and infrastructure. It's her caucus that's out of control. It's her that hasn't delivered for the American people, and it's actually her caucus that's trying to obstruct the investigation into the witch hunt. Think about it honestly for a second, Juan. Why would President Trump participate in another attempt to impeach him? It didn't work the first time. He was framed. He not guilty. And then they want to retry him. Double jeopardy. Why would you walk into that trap? After you were cleared, after you were found not guilty, why? The Democrats are basically saying, we can't impeach him, and he's fighting back really hard, so that's why we have to impeach him.
I don't even know.
It doesn't make any sense.
Am I allowed to respond?
Yes.
I don't even know where to start in this Alice in Wonderland story. First of all, they have not tried to impeach him yet, right?
Well, that's what the
that's what
was in the beginning.
You said there was a first time. I don't know.
That was the attempt when they framed him for colluding with Russia.
I see. And secondly, guess what? It's the courts that are saying that, in fact, the Congress has a legitimate standing as an equal branch of government to have congressional oversight of the executive.
So let the courts decide.
Correct. Sir. They are deciding. They're saying give the documents, especially the financial documents.
It'll work its way through the courts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but just to Dana's larger point. Nancy Pelosi is one of the few national politicians who has Trump's number, and she is giving him his medicine in, large doses. It seems to me when she says the family needs to intervene, and I'm praying for the president, these things sting. It's like, Trump has a genius of sticking nicknames on people. I think Nancy now has a genius of saying, hey, you know what? You're a little bit uncertain. You're wobbling. You need help. And all of a sudden now he's trying to
So why is that not considered personal attacks?
Well,
when he does it, we scripted it as personal attacks, but when she does it, it's not personal.
Does anybody actually believe that Nancy Pelosi is praying for the well-being of President Trump?
She said she's not only praying for his well-being, Katie, she's praying for the well-being of us, the American people, under that president.
The people are doing pretty well.
What she's saying.
Yes. Yeah. And by the way, Jesse, I just can't believe what you said about the media, because I think I was reading the papers this morning. I thought, wow, I know conservatives say this liberal media is so anti-Trump. Today, they bought Trump's story that, in fact, Pelosi had started this when she said there was a cover-up. But as Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, everybody said, there's been an investigation going on all along, and they met with each other. But now, all of a sudden, it's, he was so upset by what Nancy said.
If you watch Katie,
oh, my gosh.
So first of all, I'm not really clear on why we had a special counsel investigation if Congress is just going to redo the investigation and waste a bunch of more money to come to a different or same conclusion. Probably the same conclusion because they don't have the same number of resources that a special counsel does. But getting back to the issues that the president was talking about today in terms of trade and China, Chuck Schumer actually agrees with President Trump on China. He's one of the people backing him up and saying, we know that there's pain. This is very difficult for the middle of the country, but China's been cheating, and we agree with the president that there has to be something long-term that is fixed. The replacement to NAFTA is also another one. And where Trump is smart here politically is the Democratic base likes the union work. They like the infrastructure spending. And Trump keeps coming to them with plans publicly in these press conferences, and he can drag them out because it's an event of an announcement of something else. And he's offering it to everyone to see, and Democrats aren't willing to do that.
But now Schumer and Pelosi have an excuse, perhaps manufactured of their own making, to be able to say, that's right, we weren't able to get anything done, but that's because President Trump wouldn't work with us. And because if they don't have any accomplishments to run on, they are just figure out a way to blame him.
But I got something else to say to you. Remember, the Republicans had Congress for 2 years, both houses.
And everyone blamed
They didn't get anything done.
And they
so now
did a ton.
It's the Democrats.
You know what's interesting about the impeachment argument, though? The impeachment argument that Morning Blow said, he said, we want impeachment, but so does he, so let's not give it to him. That's the same as the border.
It's like you have
we all want the border, but because he wants a strong border, we're not going to do it. They are infants. They're not adults.
It's almost like how you treat some children, right? They figure out a way, like, like they try the reverse psychology, but we're all adults. We're following along.
I'm barely one.
I am. There, you reach. You got there.
Yeah.
You got there. You reached that level. You can ride the rides. All right.